Naomi's sadness. Ruth 1. There came a time when Israel suffered a terrible famine. Soon many people were starving, including a man called Elimelech, who lived in Bethlehem with his wife Naomi and their 2 sons. We must move to the land of Moab until the famine is over. Elimelech told his family, so they left their home far behind. While they were living in Moab, Elimelech died, but his sons grew up there and married 2 Moabite girls, Orpah and Ruth. Some years later, though both the sons died too, Naomi was very sad. The time has come for me to return home, she said. Orpah and Ruth decided to go with her, but when they reached Moab's border, Naomi turned to them. Go back, she urged. You belong with your own people. Reluctantly, Orpah agreed, but Ruth refused. I am coming with you, she told Naomi. From now on, your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. Ruth meets Boaz. Naomi and Ruth continued together on their journey. The girl's company was a comfort to the older woman, but it did not stop her from worrying. How would they live without a husband to look after them? In those days, women could not earn money. When they finally reached Bethlehem, the 2 women were exhausted and very hungry. Luckily, it was harvest time, and Ruth had a plan. Let me go out into the fields, she told Naomi. I can pick up the grains of wheat and that have been dropped. If I work hard, I can collect enough to feed us. And that's just what she did in a field belonging to a man called Boaz. Boaz marries Ruth. Now Boaz was Naomi's relative, and when he discovered who Ruth was, he wanted to help her. You are welcome to work in my field anytime, he told her. Ruth rushed to tell Naomi what has happened. Boaz was very kind. She told the older woman, he even left me extra grain to pick up. Naomi was delighted. God guided you to that field, she cried. Of course. Naomi wanted to find a husband for Ruth, a good man who would look after them both, and she knew that Boaz was a good man. In Israel at that time, if a man died, the closest relative would take care of his family. Naomi hoped that Boaz would claim this right. So she sent Ruth to ask for his help. Boaz was very pleased when Ruth asked for his protection. He knew how hard she worked, and he admired her kindness to Naomi. Take this gift as a mark of my respect, he said, presenting Ruth with a sack of grain. I would very much like to marry you, but there is another man living in the town who's a closer relative of Naomi. We must ask him first whether he minds. Boaz set out at once to find out. I already have a wife and family, the relative told him. I am happy for you to wed Ruth. So Ruth and Boaz were married. Naomi was overjoyed, especially when Ruth gave birth to her first child. Little did anyone know that Ruth, who had trusted God and helped her mother-in-law, would become the great-grandmother of Israel's greatest king, King David. Thank you. Bye.